Good day, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to my hockey room. Today, it's time to talk about some leagues because, the NHL is still playing, the AHL is still playing, the Canadian Junior Leagues are in their finals, but here in Europe, everything except one is done. The one exception is, of course, the KHL, the league in Russia, which right now has its final going. And at the day of recording, it's Lokomotiv Yaroslavl 1 and AK Bars Kazan 1. So they are tied at 1, just begun the final. But all the other leagues are done, and I want to talk about them today. This is why I brought out some of my European jerseys. I brought out jerseys from Germany, from Finland, from Sweden, and from the Czech Republic. I hope you are enjoying this little setup. And now let's talk about the leagues. And I want to start up here in Germany, the league, the DEL, which is the highest league here in the country. I do have a season ticket for Red Bull Munich. They were not in the final this year, but two teams were that really deserved it. The winner in the end was the Eisbären Berlin, who were into the playoffs as the number 6 seed. First, they beat the number 3 seed, then they beat the number 1 seed, and in the final, they beat the number 2 seed, Mannheim, with a score of 4-1. And they were the better team, I have to admit that. I supported Mannheim in the series, but Berlin was the better team. They deserved to win. Congratulations to the Eisbären Berlin, this jersey here, for winning now 3 DEL championships in a row and 5 in the last 6 years. Incredible, indeed. In the league below the DEL2, the Krefeld Penguins, who were the top seed, they swept their way through the whole league. They swept Landshut in the first round, they swept Regensburg in the semifinal, and finally they swept Kassel, the number 2 seed, in the final. They did not lose a game in the whole playoffs. Congratulations to the Krefeld Pinguine and welcome back to the DEL. I hope you're really there. There was some issues with financial stuff. I hope they got it solved. I really hope Krefeld comes back to the DEL. They really deserved it. What a fantastic run in these playoffs. Next was Liga, the league in Finland, where Tappara Tampere, the number 1 seed, the jersey right here, they beat Koko Kovala, the number 2 seed, in 7. They lost game 1 and 2, Tappara did. Then they won game 3 and 4. From there on, it was a give and go. And they won game 7 with a score of 2-1. It was really close. It was tight. It was a hard-fought series. And in the end, Tappara Tampere won. In Sweden, and I know I will butcher this name, but Skellefteå, the number 1 seed in the SHL, they beat Rögle in the final 4-1. Rögle had a little bit of history because in the first round, they beat Färjestad 4-3 after they were down 3-0. So we had a reverse sweep in Sweden in the first round, Rögle against Färjestad. This was really incredible. Rögle carried this momentum through the semifinal into the final, but there they met their master and Skellefteå, who were the top seed in the SHL and the best team overall in the whole season. They deserved winning the championship. Next league is the National League number A in Switzerland, which is together with the SHL in Sweden, these two. Normally they compete who is the best league. In recent years, it was the SHL, but I think Switzerland will come back, especially they do have the money. If an NHL player or former NHL player then comes to Europe, he most likely goes to Switzerland because there's the most money. The players get paid the best. And in the end, it was a very, very hard-fought final. Fribourg, who was the number 2 seed, beat Davos, who was the number 1 seed, 4-3. Game 7 was in overtime. That's how close it was between the number 2 and the number 1 seed in the Swiss League. And congratulations to Fribourg for pulling the upset in overtime in Game 7. Great effort. They are now the guys who are hosting the Worlds that will start at the day of the release of this video. So today, you can go right over to the next channel and watch some live hockey. The Worlds are getting started today in Fribourg. 2 more leagues are on the board. First, we have the Tipsport Liga, which is in Slovakia, where Nitra beat Slovan Bratislava 4-3. The top seed beat the number 2 seed. Yeah, it was not the best year for the number 2 seeds, except Fribourg in Switzerland. All the other number 2 seeds who got anywhere, they lost latest in the final. So it was in Slovakia. Slovan, great effort. They were up 3-2, but then Nitra came back, 1 game 6, 1 game 7, and the championship. And finally, Extraliga, which is of course the league in the Czech Republic, where Rytry Kladno, the team that Jaromír Jágr still played for in 2025-2026. I don't know if he will play again next season. Now that he's well over 50, I think he's 54 now. It gets a little dicey. Yeah, he only played. I think it was only 12 or 13 games. So let me check for a second. Okay, it was even less. He played 6 games and had 1 assist. And yeah, I highly assume that he will retire in this offseason, that he will say, okay, that's it. I'm 54. That was correct, by the way. I'm out of here. And not to face other guys like the guys from Dynamo. Pardubice. Sorry for butchering the name. I'm very, very sorry. They played Oklejana Trnec in the final. Sorry for butchering the name. I'm very sorry. And they beat them in 6, 4-2. And the 40-year-old captain of Dynamo, Roman Chervenka, he was the captain in the Olympics as well. He had a great time lifting the cup. Fantastic. Absolutely a great end to the season in the Czech Republic. Okay, that were the champions of Europe as far as I know and all that are of interest. Of course, there are leagues in Denmark, in France, in Latvia, in Austria, around the whole continent. And we could also talk about the Metis Liga, which is the second league in Finland, where Jokerit Helsinki won the championship. Let's see if they return to Liga next season, or if this has anything to do with getting promoted to Liga. I don't know. We will find out next year, but I only wanted to have the major leagues on the final and to have a story to tell for every league. I hope I did so. I hope you liked what you liked what you heard. And I will have a season ticket next year once again for Munich, for the DEL. I will see Berlin, I will see Mannheim, I will see Ingolstadt, of course, yeah, Munich. All the teams that come to town. I hope I will see Krefeld. I hope they really sort out the financial stuff and they join the DEL, because this would be great. I was in Krefeld for 1 game. Have you seen the video? Have a look up in the corner for the playoff game in the Jaila Arena for game 1, which was absolutely incredible. I hope these guys can join the rest of the league next year. And yeah, that's it for this one. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know in the comment section below which champion of Europe did you support the most, or which champion of Europe did you enjoy the most winning the championship. Like to hear from you. Thank you so much for watching. See you soon here on the channel. Until then, have a good time. Goodbye.